Matt, thanks very much. Now, school children are now wading into the Iraq debate with a new poll suggesting most believe Tony Blair was wrong to join in the US-led invasion.
Yes, the What Kids Think survey by children's newspaper First News also suggests that 60% of children believe Tony Blair is doing a bad job running the country.
70% fear we're all too obsessed with celebrities rather than other more important issues.
Yes, and 80% reckon they have a healthy diet, and fears about junk food are very much overdone.
Well, let's talk about this with Piers Morgan, who is executive editor of First News, and Ellie Crisell, who is presenter with the BBC's Newsround programme. Very good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Piers, you commissioned this poll. Were you surprised by the results?
I was actually, because you don't really expect kids between 7 and 13 to be too engaged in foreign affairs, Iraq and stuff like that. And the response was really quite vociferous. You know, I mean, 80% of them so they thought the war in Iraq was wrong, I thought was quite interesting. On Blair, I mean, I suspect his popularity rating with kids is actually slightly more popular than it is with adults, but they're still quite negative. One of the ones I liked was that I think 55% of kids have no idea what the royal family do, which certainly in some of the lesser members' cases will be something we might all empathise with. But interesting sort of ticks for Blair as well, which were that the biggest result in terms of a positive reaction was 92% thought they were getting a good education. And the vast majority thought they had a good diet too. So all this sort of debate about stereotypical fat kids who are all rather stupid, they've reacted quite strongly to it.
Now, Eddie, how does this sort of correspond with the feedback you get? Because you do a lot of that stuff on the programme, don't you, where you ask children what they think?
We were doing it way before you.
We're hand in hand now, honestly.
So
we do it all the time. It's very, very ongoing. We invite feedback from our viewers every single day through our website and through the programme. We ask them to send in their opinions about things and to vote on issues as well. So everything that you've covered in this survey, we've probably have done.
Which are the ones that you find really get them going?
Well, I have to say the issue about Tony Blair and the war in Iraq isn't something that surprised us, because from the off-go we had a huge response to that, and virtually all of the viewers said that they didn't think it was a good idea to go to war with Iraq.
It's interesting on that, you see, I think that, I mean, when I was young, the idea that I would have a sort of formed opinion about something like the war in Iraq would be ridiculous if I was sort of 7, 8, 9. But now, because of television being so omnipotent in kids' lives, and also the internet, I think they're getting much more engaged, and that's where something like First News and Newsround, I used to love Newsround, there's never been a newspaper for kids, and what we're hoping is to get these kids to be informed about this kind of thing.
You mentioned one of the interesting things was this large proportion of children who think that they are eating healthily, and we've done our own little survey. Let's find out what our children said.
I do eat crisps and stuff, but I eat in proportion, and I do eat salads and stuff, and I eat that in proportion too. So I do eat healthy.
My diet used to be like really, really rubbish, but then I started to get paranoid about my weight, and I knew that I had to do something about it.
I do eat some crisps and chocolate, but I always balance that with some fruit and yoghurt.
It has to be said, Piers, that particular one on the food thing, that doesn't quite work, does it? Because if 90% of them, or whatever it is,
80%, wasn't it? Yeah.
think they eat well.
Yeah.
That does
They
fly in the
always
face
think
of...
they eat well,
I'll tell you what's responsible for that, I suspect, is one person, Jamie Oliver. I mean, let's not underestimate the power of that guy and his campaign against the government, really.
Yeah.
And these kids are now talking as if Jamie Oliver's come in their house and gone, whoa, stop eating these crisps, because they're all talking in a healthy way now.
Well, the feedback that we've had is that kids think that they do eat fine, and they've always eaten fine, and Jamie Oliver should butt out.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's right. I would never, when I was young, have stood there talking to a television camera and said, actually, I'm eating all my greens. But Jamie Oliver's made it quite cool now to reject burgers, chips and crisps, and actually,
Well, they're aware of it, but they're not necessarily eating healthy.
One of the other big issues, we can illustrate this one another, is about celebrity, the role of celebrity.
Well, I love this, because you would imagine that kids, of all people, would think that celebrities were great, you know, and 70% now think that we are a celebrity-obsessed country.
We've got a few kids we can hear from now. Let's have a look.
With celebrities, everyone thinks that they're everything, and then everyone wants to follow them, and sometimes it can be a bit dangerous to follow them. So if everyone just sometimes talks about other things and thinks about other things, it might be a bit better for us as well.
We're not moving on in our lives. We're just standing there and on one point and thinking about celebrities, what celebrities do.
We should be more focusing on the things around us, not celebrities, not fashion show and everything, latest music and all that.
Ellie, the thing is, it depends what you ask children, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, yeah. I mean, we were quite surprised by that one, actually, because in our experience, kids are obsessed with celebrities and they all want to be famous.
But if you ask them, are you obsessed with celebrities?
They're going to say yes.
Well,
this
no,
is
but
it.
maybe they're going to say no because they don't want
again,
the
listen to what those
implications.
guys said, because I thought it was very interesting. The way they argued it is that there are more important things in life than these half-wits who go on Big Brother and stuff. Kids aren't stupid these days. I think they're much brighter, generally. We always go on about this sort of negative thing of kids all pass too many exams and the results are too good, everything must be too easy. You listen to these kids talking like that, and I feel quite encouraged, actually.
We have got more time to talk, but a little later on, so for the moment, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And let's go over to the London Stock Exchange because Declan Curry is of